I need you to understand something before I tell you the rest. When you hear your own voice coming through a radio frequency that shouldn't exist, answering questions you haven't asked yet, you don't forget it. You don't sleep right, and you sure as hell don't drive alone at night anymore. My name is Marcus Webb. I was a long-haul trucker for 11 years. Was, past tense. And what happened on State Route 89 between mile marker 140 and 167 is why I'll never get behind the wheel of a rig again. This was 3 months ago, October 12th, and I'm telling you this because someone needs to know. Someone needs to understand why my truck is still sitting in an impound lot in Kern County and why I can't bring myself to claim it. Welcome to the faint whisper, where the airwaves don't forget what they carry, and sometimes they carry it back.
Authorities are asking for information after a commercial vehicle was found abandoned on State Route 89 Thursday night. The truck was discovered running with cart. The driver was located about 4 away unharmed but disoriented and has declined to comment. Anyone with information should contact the county.
I've driven State Route 89 maybe 200 times. It's not scenic, it's not dangerous, it's just long. Flat desert highway cutting through nothing, connecting nowhere to nowhere else. The kind of road where you set the cruise control, crack a monster, and let your mind drift for 3 hours. October 12th was a Wednesday. I remember because I'd picked up the load Tuesday afternoon. Furniture components headed from a warehouse in Bakersfield to a distribution center outside Reno. Standard run. I'd done it so many times I could practically drive it in my sleep. I left the Bakersfield depot at 4:47 p.m. I know the exact time because I texted my wife, Kelly, when I hit the road. She texted back, "Drive safe, love ya." I didn't know that would be the last normal text I'd ever send her. The sun was already starting to dip when I merged onto 89. By 6:15 p.m., I was past Ridgecrest, and the desert had swallowed everything. No towns, no gas stations, just scrub brush and that endless black asphalt ribbon cutting north. That's when I first turned on the CB radio. Now, I know what you're thinking. CB radios are old school. Most drivers use their phones now, Bluetooth headsets, whatever. But I'm old school too, 43 years old, and I learned to drive listening to truckers talk smack on Channel 19. There's a comfort in it. The static, the random voices, makes you feel less alone out there. I flipped it to Channel 19 like always. Nothing. Dead air. Not unusual. 89 is pretty empty. I cycled through a few channels. 17, 21, 9, all quiet. I left it on 19 and turned up my Spotify instead. Mile marker 140 slid past my window at 6:32 p.m. That's when the CB crackled to life. "Copy? Do you copy?" I reached over and grabbed the handset. "Yeah, I copy. Go ahead."
Silence. Long enough that I thought I'd lost them. Then, "What's your 20? Northbound 89, just past marker 140. You need something?" The voice came back, clearer this time. "You're at 140? That's affirm. Who's this?" Another pause, longer. The static sounded wrong, not like normal radio interference. It had a rhythm to it, almost like breathing. "You shouldn't be at 140. I felt my stomach tighten. "Say again?" "You shouldn't be at 140, not yet." I looked at my speedometer, 72 miles per hour, cruise control locked. "Buddy, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just running north. You got traffic I should know about?" The voice cut out completely. I clicked the handset a few times. "Hello? You still there?" Nothing. I hung the handset back up and told myself it was just some bored driver screwing around. Happens sometimes. Guys get lonely, start playing games on the radio, but my hands were shaking.
I turned the CB off and didn't want to deal with it. Cranked up the music, some classic rock playlist, and focused on the road. Mile marker 145 appeared in my headlights at 6:39 p.m. My phone buzzed. Text from Kelly. "How's the drive?" I voice texted back. "All good, quiet, should be in Reno by 10. The road curved slightly, following the contour of some long dead lake bed. My headlights caught a reflector sign. Next service is 87 miles. That's the thing about 89. Once you're on it, you're committed. At 6:51 p.m., I passed mile marker 150, and the CB turned itself back on. I'm not kidding. I watched it happen. The power knob rotated by itself. Not a lot, just that little click from off to on, and channel 19 lit up green on the display. Voice. Marcus. I nearly swerved into the shoulder. The voice was clearer now, male, calm, and it knew my name. I grabbed the handset so hard my knuckles went white. Who the hell is this? You're at 150 now. I looked at my side mirror. The mile marker was already behind me, fading into the darkness. How do you know my name? You told me 2 minutes ago. I didn't. I stopped. My throat felt tight. I didn't tell you anything. Not yet, the voice said, and then it laughed. Not mean, not scary, just sad, like someone who'd heard a joke they didn't find funny anymore. The CB went dead again. I pulled over, right there on the shoulder, hazards on, hands gripping the wheel. My heart was slamming against my ribs. I'm not a superstitious guy. I don't believe in ghosts or aliens or any of that stuff, but something was wrong. I picked up my phone and called dispatch. 3 rings, then, Webb Logistics, this is Dana. Dana Ortiz, night dispatcher. We'd worked together for 6 years.
Dana, it's Marcus. I'm on 89, about 10 miles past Ridgecrest, and something weird is happening with my CB. Weird how? Someone's, I don't know, messing with me. Knows my name, knew my location before I said it. She was quiet for a second. You pick up a hitchhiker or something? No, I'm alone. It's coming through the radio. Could be somebody with a scanner. They can pull CB chatter, maybe cross-referenced your rig number. You want me to log it? I exhaled. That made sense. Sort of. Yeah, log it. I'm going to keep moving. Stay safe, Marcus. Call me if it gets weirder. I pulled back onto the highway. Mile marker 155 came and went, then 160. At 7:18 p.m., I passed 165, and the voice came back.
This time, I didn't wait. I grabbed the handset the second the static started. All right, I don't know what kind of game you're playing, but Marcus, stop. The voice wasn't distorted anymore. It was clear, crystal clear, and it sounded exactly like me. I'm gonna say that again because I need you to understand. It sounded exactly like me. What the? Listen to me, my voice said through the radio. You're at mile marker 165. In 45 seconds, you're going to see a green Ford pickup on the shoulder, flat tire. You're going to think about stopping. Don't. My mouth went dry. Who are you? Drive past it. Do not stop. Do you understand? I looked at the road ahead. Empty. Nothing but darkness and painted lines. There's no truck. And then my headlights caught it. A green Ford F-150 pulled onto the right shoulder, hazards blinking. A guy in a reflective vest was crouched by the rear tire, jack in hand. Every instinct I had screamed at me to stop. You don't leave people stranded on 89, not at night, not in the middle of nowhere. But my hands wouldn't move. I couldn't touch the brake. I drove past. The guy looked up as I passed, made eye contact through my passenger window. His face was normal, tired, annoyed. He raised one hand like, seriously? And then he was gone, swallowed by my taillights. Good, my voice said through the CB. Now keep going. What the hell is happening?
You're in a loop, Marcus. Mile marker 140 to 167. You've driven it 4 times already. That's impossible. Check your odometer. I looked. The trip meter read 89.3 miles since I'd left Bakersfield. But I'd been driving for over 2 hours at 70 miles per hour. I should have been past 140 miles by now. My hands started shaking so badly I had to slow down. This isn't real. This isn't. You're going to hit mile marker 167 in 3 minutes. the voice, my voice, said calmly. And then you're going to loop back to 140 again, like you have 4 times already. And if you don't listen to me, you're going to keep looping until you make the same mistake I did. What mistake? You're going to want to stop at 167. There's going to be someone there, someone who needs help. Who? Me.
I don't know if you've ever felt true primal terror, the kind that doesn't come from something jumping out at you, but from the slow creeping realization that the rules of reality have changed and you're still inside them. That's what I felt. I checked my mirrors. Empty road behind me. Empty road ahead. I checked my phone. 7:23 p.m. But that didn't make sense. I've been driving since before 5 p.m. Time was wrong. Distance was wrong. The mile markers kept counting up. I slowed to 60, 50. My whole body was locked up. And then, in the distance, I saw light. Not headlights, flashers, red and blue, emergency lights. As I got closer, I could make out the scene. A big rig, my rig, same model, same company logo, pulled half onto the shoulder, cab door open, and standing next to it, waving a flashlight, was a guy in a trucker jacket. He looked exactly like me. I slammed on the brakes. The truck shuddered to a stop about 50 yards short. I sat there, engine idling, staring at myself. The CB crackled. "Don't get out, Marcus." Is that you? It was me, 3 loops ago, maybe 4. I've lost count. The figure by the truck kept waving the flashlight, beckoning. What happens if I stop? You become me, stuck at 167, trying to warn the next version, and the loop keeps going. How do I break it? Silence. How do I break it? You don't stop, the voice said quietly. You drive through 167, past me, past yourself, and you don't look back. And then what? I don't know if you've ever felt true primal terror, the kind that doesn't come from something jumping out at you, but from the slow creeping realization that the rules of reality have changed and you're still inside them. That's what I felt. I checked my mirrors. Empty road behind me. Empty road ahead. I checked my phone. 7:23 p.m. But that didn't make sense. I've been driving since before 5 p.m. Time was wrong. Distance was wrong. The mile markers kept counting up. I slowed to 60, 50. My whole body was locked up. And then, in the distance, I saw light. Not headlights, flashers, red and blue, emergency lights. As I got closer, I could make out the scene. A big rig, my rig, same model, same company logo, pulled half onto the shoulder, cab door open, and standing next to it, waving a flashlight, was a guy in a trucker jacket. He looked exactly like me. I slammed on the brakes. The truck shuddered to a stop about 50 yards short. I sat there, engine idling, staring at myself. The CB crackled. Don't get out, Marcus. Is that you? It was me, 3 loops ago, maybe 4. I've lost count. The figure by the truck kept waving the flashlight, beckoning. What happens if I stop? You become me, stuck at 167, trying to warn the next version, and the loop keeps going. How do I break it? Silence. How do I break it? You don't stop, the voice said quietly. You drive through 167, past me, past yourself, and you don't look back. And then what? I don't know. I never made it that far. My foot hovered over the gas pedal. The other me, the me at 167, started walking toward my truck, slowly. His face was mine, but wrong, hollow, desperate. He raised one hand, mouthed something I couldn't hear. Please. I closed my eyes, and I floored it.
The truck shot forward.
I didn't look at the mirror, didn't look at the CB, just kept my eyes locked on the road and my foot on the gas. Mile marker 167 flew past. The road changed. I don't know how else to describe it. The asphalt looked newer. The lines were brighter. There were lights in the distance. Civilization. My phone buzzed. 5 missed calls from Dana. 12 texts from Kelly. The CB went silent. Completely. No static, no breathing. Just dead. At mile marker 175, I saw the glow of a truck stop. A real one. I pulled in, legs shaking so badly I could barely walk. I called Kelly. She was crying, said I'd been missing for 6 hours. The dispatch had sent someone to look for me. That highway patrol found my truck on 89 with the engine running and no one inside. I told her I'd explain when I got home. But here's the thing. When I got back to Bakersfield 2 days later, I went to the impound lot to see my truck. There was a handset sitting on the passenger seat. The CB had been ripped out, wires dangling. I'd torn it out myself when I got to that truck stop. But the handset was still there. And when I picked it up, it was warm, like someone had just been holding it. I turned it over, scratched into the plastic, in handwriting I recognized as my own. I made it to 168. How far did you get? I don't drive anymore, and I sure as hell don't answer the phone when it's a number I don't recognize. Because 2 weeks ago, my cell rang at 11 p.m. Unknown caller. I let it go to voicemail, and when I played it back, Marcus, you're gonna want to get back on 89. There's someone there who needs your help. It was my voice, and in the background, I could hear mile markers clicking past. 140, 145, 150.
If you ever find yourself on a road that feels too long, where the mile markers repeat, where the CB starts talking back in a voice you recognize, don't stop. Don't answer. And whatever you do, don't try to help the person on the shoulder at mile marker 167, because that person is you, and you've been there longer than you think. This has been The Faint Whisper. If this story kept you up tonight, subscribe, because the next one might be worse. And turn off your CB.
Disclaimer. The Faint Whisper shares fictional horror and mystery stories told in a true-feeling style for entertainment. These narratives are not presented as verified real events, and any resemblance to real people, places, or incidents is coincidental. Some visuals on this channel are created using AI generation tools. Viewer discretion is advised.